All right, I'm going to be breaking down our profit pathway, the strategy we use for our clients when we partner with them to help them drive an ROI with advertising. So let's jump right into the conversation. First thing is first, understanding the rules of the game. One thing that our agency focuses in on are key performance indicators or KPIs. And basically what that is are all the important metrics that matter when it comes to growing and scaling a business through marketing. So the first KPI we look at is cost to acquire a customer. That's how much you spend in order to bring a new paying customer to the table. The second KPI is customer lifetime value. That's the total revenue generated over the lifetime relationship with that customer. With your business. The third thing is operating expenses. What is the total cost for you to deliver your service, which would include labor, tools, fulfillment, and overhead. And then with all that, we can distill that down to identify profit margin, because at the end of the day, you want to be fully aware that, hey, is your system profitable or not? Because ultimately that's what determines the longevity of the marketing campaign that you're running. So let's go on to the next key thing here. We're going to sum up the different KPIs at the different levels of the marketing funnel. So to keep it very simple, there's 3 levels that we look at. Level 1 is advertising performance. That has its own set of KPI. Level 2 is going to have our lead capture efficiency, and that would come in the form of website landing pages. And then level 3 is the sales conversion KPI, which is basically of all the leads that come in and all the calls you guys are doing, how many of those people are you able to enroll in your product or service? And so there are 3 different KPIs, or I should say 3 different levels of KPI. Let's go into the first one. So the first one is what we call offers and ads. So everyone thinks that the ad is the first step, but it's actually not. Before you create an ad, you have to have an offer. And the offer is the most important thing, because your offer, if it doesn't resonate with your audience, I don't care how good of an ad you have, it's not going to work, right? So the first thing that we do with our clients is we try to understand your offer and also look at similar offers in the marketplace to see what's already working, which companies are spending money on what offers. And so that's the good thing. As an agency, we have the tools that in order for us to go and do this type of research. So once we understand the offer, what's working, what's not working, we want to help fine tune and optimize the offer. In fact, that word optimize, you're going to hear a lot throughout this video here. So, your offer is the most important, and this will then have an effect as to whether or not your ads work, right? So your offer must resonate with your ideal prospect, not just sound good to you, even though you think it's a good offer. If your audience doesn't, guess what? Your audience is always right? The customer is always right. Ad performance is real time. So when we actually turn an ad on, we're going to watch real time based on what's happening day by day. Are people engaging with this? Are people clicking? Are people doing, taking the actions that we want them to? The ad is the real time feedback to tell us if the offer is good or not good. And there's really only 2 reasons why an ad campaign will fail. First reason why is the offer is weak, right? The offer is weak. Or number 2, that's where the ad creative or the targeting is off, right? Maybe it's a good offer, but your ad's not good. So the only reason why, there's 2 reasons, is either going to be the offer or the ad, right? Now from there, once we understand that, that's where optimizing comes in. It's a continuous process of testing, tweaking, tighten the offer and the creative until the data proves it's dialed in. So you'll see a little diagram here. Here's our offer. From there, we distill that into an ad or a variety of ads. From there, we check KPI, making sure that our ad KPIs are hidden, cost per click, click-through rates, cost per 1,000 impressions, which are CPMs. And if it is good, great, we can go on to the next thing, right? If it's not hitting, then we got to do what? Go back and optimize. Now, level 2 here is the landing page. So once we get these ads dialed in, now we need to see the next phase of the process, which is the landing page. So the landing page must clearly communicate your value. Otherwise, your prospects will bounce. By the way, Google has a KPI called the bounce rate, right? What's the percentage of people who hit the page and bounce within a certain amount of time? That's the bounce rate. So if you have a high bounce rate, that means your page, your website is not good or it's not relevant to your audience, right? So it's important to note the structure of a landing page and website. Your structure will guide the visitors through the offer, right? Or it's going to lose them in confusion. In fact, one thing that we love to do is do deep dives into people's websites and landing pages, because usually we see right away a handful of tweaks that can happen that could dramatically improve the KPI on that landing page. So that's number one, right? So the landing page piece. And then from there, when people hit the page, do people take action, right? And in our case, for this type of strategy, we want people to opt in or book a call, right? That's basically what it is. And that action of people booking a call is the real-time proof as to whether or not your landing page is working. And this is important because, if you hire a designer to design a landing page, it's going to look very nice. It's going to look pretty. It's going to look wow, impressive. But it doesn't matter. What matters is the bottom line. When people go to the page, are they opting in? That is the number one KPI of a landing page. For us, we're looking at a minimum of a 20% opt-in rate to know if that landing page is hitting KPI or not, right? And so again, here's the landing page. Do they book or don't book? If they are booking, and it's not just booking, but we want to look at that percentage. So out of 100 people who hit the page, we want to see at least 20 taking the action. If that's occurring, fantastic. We pass the KPI check. If it's not passing, boom, got to go back and optimize. And that comes in the form of testing new headlines, testing a new video, testing different structure, testing different color, whatever we have to do until we can do what? Hit the KPI. All right. Now, the third layer of the path, profit path, is sales call. Now, this is the sales pitch, right? We just call it the sales pitch because not everyone pitches on a phone call. Some do it in person. Some do it through Zoom. So we'll just call it pitch for now. But the way it works is, once we get the leads to come from the offer, the ad, the landing page, and it's time for that sales call, now it's like, do you enroll that person, right? So the sales pitch either is going to convert a person into a buyer, or it doesn't convert a person into a buyer. And a lot of times people think that, well, I couldn't close a sale because the ad is no good. And that's not the case. The ad has a singular job. The purpose of the ad is to get people to the landing page, right? And that's one thing I want you guys to think about. The purpose of level 1 is to get people to what? Level 2, the landing page. And the purpose of level 2 is to do what? Get people to level 3. You see that? And so once people are at level 3, if the level 1 and 2 were done correctly, this prospect should already be filtered. Right? They should already be qualified to talk to you because they've already gone through the steps. And so now it's about the effectiveness of what you're saying to this person and how you're saying it. So what are the 3 main reasons why a sales pitch fails? Well, number 1, it's a weak sales pitch, right? The message lacks flow, clarity, or a compelling offer, so the prospects tune out, right? And that's usually one of the big reasons why. The second reason why a sales pitch fails is because the salesperson is unskilled, right? Even the best scripts it's gonna fall flat in the wrong hands. So confidence, tonality, body language, timing, being able to handle objections, those things really make a difference. And again, that skill set alone, that one piece alone, can make or break a deal. The third reason why, and this is usually a rare scenario, is unqualified leads. And the reason why I say it's rare is because if the marketing team did everything they were supposed to do on the front end, and all the steps were done correctly from the offer to the ad to the landing page, everything, by the time that lead shows up, that person should have already been qualified, right? But in the event the person is not qualified, of course, even if you say the right things, it's not the right person, right? It is what it is. If the lead isn't ready, the sale won't land. Boom, period. Or if the lead's just not qualified to pay or buy, right? Maybe it's just not a right match, okay? So at the end of the day, it's all figure outable, right? And that's one thing we love about marketing, because it simply is just math. And that's the whole concept of our profit pathway, because we truly believe that the pathway to profit in your business with paid ads is simply understanding the 3 levels and the KPI for every level, but more importantly, having a team of experts that know exactly how to hit the KPI at the level, and if it's not hitting, they know how to optimize in order to do so. And that's what we specialize in here at the Famous Group. Our whole focus, it's not just let's set up an ad and get you a lead. Anyone can do that. It's not like, let's just build you a website so you have a website so you look like a real business. No, anyone can do that. The goal is truly to build a profitable pathway for your audience, your cold audience, where we're taking them from a click on social media to a credit card swipe at the checkout line, right? That's what this is all about. And we look at it from a holistic point of view. And so when we partner together, we're going to be breaking down your business from the perspective of these three levels. We're going to be looking at where's room for improvement, where are things already really, really good and optimized, and we're going to provide you a game plan to take you from where your business is and scaling it to 5 to 10 to 20x. So hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team, and hope you got some value from this information.